I'm going to continue now after the proposal video that you may have seen. So here I was, 18 years old, and David was 22, a policeman, just starting out, and I was Catholic, and David was Anglican. And this was the 60s, so that was a big problem. We didn't know what we were going to do. The parents were not very happy. My parents were not very happy about it because he was Anglican. He was the boy next door. So they knew him for many years. But I think, the way you're raised, you get conditioned to believing in a certain way, and you have a narrow focus. You really do. And I think it's important in life to try and open your eyes and to see, other people's points of view and not be narrow-minded. Anyway, that's what we had to face then, and I didn't know what we were going to do. We almost broke up over it, actually. And I was looking to find pictures that I could put with this video, but in those days we hardly ever took pictures, so I might use one or two that I've already used before, but I did find letters. I was so surprised. I didn't realize I had so many letters that we had written to each other years and years ago, and I've spent most of the day rereading those letters, and boy, did it ever take me back, and feelings I haven't felt in a long time, and it was really wonderful. One thing that I was really surprised to read that I totally forgot about was a poem that David had written to me years ago. You want to hear it? Okay. I mean, he wasn't a poet at all, but I think it shows, a bit of what we were going through. We called it, My Love. I am alone, she is gone, and I, only a man, must ready myself for the day, already presaged, I couldn't figure what that word was, by the lighted sky. I am alone, a solitary man, at best a hollow shell, the young man of yesterday that laughed and cried with joy and love. 21. The years are slight, but I feel as one mortally wounded, who has but minutes left for life and love. In a mistaken moment, I let you go. How to face my friends, we share a common bond. We drink in love and joy the draughts of life. I see it now so very clear. We are, I know, in love. Oh, Dorothy, you whose sweet brown eyes, deep as God's own, searched my face so often for signs of faith and reassurance. Foolish, arrogant child I am, how little I know of you. You who gave me all and required only that I be at your side. Me for love, you, I hope, for I. I sit now quietly thinking of you. A pitiful, lonely cry breaks from my salty lips. I love you, Dorothy. Oh, how I love you. How sweet and how precious love is. Eh? So much has happened since then. That was written over 50 years ago. But it just shows that love really is powerful and a huge part of our life, because I really believe that love is God, and love is all around, and that's what this world needs, is a lot of love, a lot of God, that's for sure. So we were going through a tumultuous time. We didn't know what to do. We must have broken up a bit for him to write that poem. And then I remember we went to the priest and talked to him to see what to do, and we went to the Anglican minister and talked to him, and we were just trying to work out how can we do this? How can we be together? We love one another, and we want to be able to, appease everyone and do what was right. Well, we finally realized that we had to do what was right for us. And we knew that we loved each other. And so we decided that we were going to get married in the Anglican Church. And because I thought it would be better to be, if we went to church together as a family, future children that we would have, that we would go together rather than one to be in one church and one to be in another. It's important to be unified. And as long as we still had God in our hearts and in our life, then that was the important thing. So that was our decision, but that did not go over well with my parents. And I understand that because that's how they were raised, especially my mother was very staunch Catholic. And so my parents did not put on the wedding and did not come to the wedding. But like I said, that was totally fine with me because I understood that that's just the way that they were raised. And so I wasn't going to let it tarnish, our future and our life together. And I didn't. We had a wonderful wedding. My brother walked me down the aisle, which was wonderful. And all my siblings were there, as there's 6 of us all together. I mentioned too that I was remembering. Shortly after Dave and I were married, within less than the first year, we took a trip to Florida. And when we were down there, we didn't have a very good trip because I was so badly sunburnt. I swelled up and had to go to the hospital. And David was bitten by a Portuguese man-of-war in the ocean and almost drowned. So we flew home a week early. And when we got back to the apartment, my mother came over. She had 2 bags full of groceries for us. And she said, I think she almost cried, or maybe she did cry, and she said, "I am so sorry, dear." She said, "I'm so sorry I didn't go to your wedding. I wasn't Christian, and I really regret it." And poor Mommy, I didn't want her to be hurt at all because I understood it was the way that she was raised. So, we were lucky to get through all of this, still being a loving family, and worked our way through it all. So I think that was important. I wanted to let you know that. One thing I wanted to tell you about. David wrote another poem. You want to hear it? I know he wasn't a poet, but I think it was awfully sweet. This one, is this the right one? No. This one. This is the one he wrote. It's called My One and Only Love. Here I sit and contemplate the subjects on my mind of life and love and hate. It helps to pass the time. The time it goes so slowly without my love of life. Your absence makes me lonely and causes constant strife. My heart is almost broken because you've gone away. The words I should have spoken, I never chanced to say. I told you of my love, and I told you of my hates, but I never told you why I loved, which might advent my fate. You are to me so wonderful, I love you far too much. But that is utterly impossible, I need you more than much. I want you near forever, I want you by my side. Through pain and strife and leisure, I want you for my bride. I love you. It was such a special poem that he sent to me, asking me to be his bride, which is exactly what I did do. So in the next video, I'll tell you a bit more, and I'll tell you more about the wedding. It was, we were engaged for 11 months, almost a year, which was quite normal in those days. And we preparing for the wedding, and I think we had a couple of hundred people there. It was lovely, and I'll tell you more about that in the next video. Don't want to make them too long, and don't want to bore you at all. So that's all for now.